everybody, what's up and welcome to patch 12.23 preview, part 1. In this video, we're going to talk about how I'm right, because I'm always right about everything, basically. Actually, I mean, not about everything, but of anyone who goes over patch notes or meta or things like that, I would say I am by far the most correct, because I don't have a bias. I hate everything, including myself, equally. So what's going on in this patch? Let's talk about this. Systems seem right, so we're doing champ changes. Tanks are weak, which I've been saying, despite everyone saying, oh no, tanks are definitely overpowered. I even made a video on that, you might want to go watch it, it's pretty funny. Barring individual outliers synergy with items, so we're buffing them over items to avoid poaching. Let me clarify, going into these notes, what do they mean by that? Tanks as a whole are underpowered, and I made a video and I showed that, right? So, instead of buffing their items though, they're going to buff tanks themselves. Outside of one specific tank item. They think that tank items don't need to be buffed too hard or else they'll start being built on non-tanks. Jungle changes for balance and feel. Unless I am misinterpreting this seems like a nerf, which is also good. Objective planning. Pinging spawn timer won't trigger a vote in auto fire disabled. So I'm sure many of you noticed that you stopped giving any care at all about the little voting that happens. I need to do it in reverse because I mirrored on the right side of your screen. I'm sure all of you have like stopped voting. At this point, the votes get like two people vote on them. And so they're gonna like, maybe let's tone that down. Maybe pinging that an objective coming up doesn't mean that we need to vote on it, right? So what's going on in this patch? Well, actually, before I do that, let's go over some of Riot Foxnon's replies. So he says, for objective planning, we're making some fast changes above to address some initial pain points like frequency and running to inform team objective is spawning but not a vote. So basically, yeah, if you want to tell your team that like dragon is spawning but you don't want to vote on it, you can do that now. Y'all have voiced wanting to know jungle intent and role-based intent. We're thinking about how to present more useful info and specifically the intent of the jungler. We were too concerned that players would get flamed for bad calls, that the feature doesn't give enough useful info. So basically, if you ping dragon is coming up, it starts a vote as if you want to do dragon. And the issue with that is, what if you don't want to do dragon? What if you're just telling people, hey, dragon's coming up soon, maybe we should like ward around it, like defend it. Like we don't want to do the dragon, we don't want to start a fight. But if they do it and they show up, then maybe we could catch them, right? Like if you want to do that, you can't do that because you ping dragon is coming up and then it starts a vote where it says, I want to do dragon. Do you guys want to do dragon? And then your team's like, you dumb bitch. And then of course, obviously they would get chat restricted for saying bitch. But anyway, you know, he says here, wait, literally every champ in the game right now is building Heartsteel, but it's not getting touched. Tanks are weak in tank meta. I'm so confused. He replies, that's not really true. Sad face. Basically, you dumb bitch. Most of the tanks on the list have lost 2 to 3%. True. Absolutely true. We're nerfing Heartsteel for ARAM, which is probably good, but on Summoner's Rift, it's a performant item and it's fine for items to have best users. Shen, Sejuani, Mundo with Cho Sign, situational. As for tank meta, we're targeting smallish buffs. So yes, basically, we're not in tank meta. We're not in tank meta at all, actually. Anyone who thinks we're in tank meta is an idiot. We're not even close to a tank meta right now. And he's trying to, as nicely as he can, be like, yo, shut up. We're not in a tank meta, you idiot. So what's going on in this patch? Let's look through it. So of course, this is League of Legends patch 12.23. Let me zoom this in a little bit so we can look through it all. Champion buffs Zeri. Why? Because Riot wants to nerf Zeri, so they're gonna buff Zeri and then they can nerf her. They're not done nerfing her, but they can't nerf her until they buff her. So we're gonna buff her and then we can, you know, really nerf her again. Sion, because he's, you know what? I need to actually just, because like some of you don't realize how bad some of these champions are doing. Like some of you think like, oh man, it's like Sion's like a little bit under. No, guys, all these champions they're buffing are like, oh my god, terrible. So Sion's being buffed because he has a 46% win rate. This is live. I'm not making this up as I go along. These are, let me give this a shift click on this refresh. I've totally reloaded this page. I cannot be lying to you right now. He has a 46% win rate, a low 46% win rate. If he does a little bit worse throughout this patch, he will actually fall to 45% win rate. Cho'Gath. Why Cho'Gath? Well, how do you find tanks in this meta? I'll give you a clever tip. You sort by win rate, and then you go negative, and then you can find every tank. So Cho'Gath also has a 46% win rate. Cho'Gath could also lose a few games and fall to 45%. So that's pretty bad. Then Amumu. Well, we need to find Amumu. How do we find Amumu? We sort by win rate, negative, go into the jungle, and we find Amumu. And there's Zach, by the way. I'm not making this up. I'm not joking. This is actually, I swear to God. There's so, oh, tank meta, we're in tank meta. Meanwhile, every tank just GGG. So, yeah, Amumu's being buffed. Shadowcane is being buffed. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not sure what's up with that. If you ever want to find Kayn, sort by win rate, and then you'll find him in the top 10 at any point. He's doing a little bit bad, I guess. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I think it might be a little bit too early, because like the issue is they always buff like one form of Kayn, then that form of Kayn becomes better, then they like buff all of Kayn, and then the other form becomes weak because they nerfed all of Kayn's, and they buff all, you know, and they just keep repeating this cycle. I'd like to see a patch, like I'd like to see like half a year go by with no Kayn changes, just like in either direction, right? Maokai's being buffed. Well, can I even find Maokai in top lane? Well, if I sort by pick rate negative, I can find him at 0.8%. So, Maokai is currently unplayable in top, he's unplayable in jungle, and he's very low pick, but doing sort of okay in support. So, personal opinion, can Maokai get his healing back, right? Like seriously, you guys, you nerfed his healing so bad, it's not even fun to play him anymore. It's really not, because like the allure of Maokai, right, like the stench, like when you're playing Maokai, you're like, ah, it's the good stuff. That's when like you heal off someone and then you Q them away and they chase after you, and then you're like you heal off them and Q them away, and then they chase after you and you heal off them and Q them away. That's the allure of Maokai, when people are literally not doing damage to you. Right now, what Maokai does is he hits people, it doesn't do any damage, then they kill him, he tries to heal, but he's already dead. But wait, his heal didn't do anything anyway. Zach is being buffed. I'll not go back over that one. He's doing terrible, shockingly. Tahm Kench is being buffed. So I think Riot, now I can't prove this one, okay? But I think Riot is okay with Tahm Kench in top lane. Let me see if I can even find him here. Yeah, I think they're okay with Tahm Kench in top lane, so long as he's not that popular. Down here at the 42nd highest pick, like, I think they're okay with him top lane, like just so long. Look, it's kind of like the unspoken rule, right? Tom, like Riot's like, look, Tom, you can be okay, but if you break the top 20, we will kill you. We will kill you. But yeah, I mean, tank meta's not doing him a favor. He's absolutely terrible, not even being picked in support. Is he even doing good with Senna? No, he's not even being picked with Senna anymore, and he's not that good in top. So actually, this is another moment where I was right. Remember when I said, remember when I said that they were nerfing Tahm Kench because of Senna, and now they're buffing Tahm Kench because he's not even being played with Senna? Right, I implore you, I beg, if you, please, if you ever run into a situation where Senna Tahm Kench is overpowered, nerf Senna. Because it's not Tahm Kench's fault, okay? The Kench hasn't done anything. Tommy Boy is innocent. You got him on falsified crimes, okay? You nerf Tahm Kench every time because Senna Tahm Kench is OP. That's a Senna problem. That's not a Tommy Boy problem. Tahm Kench did nothing wrong. So please, stop destroying him every time he's good with Senna. Please, okay? That's my beg to you. Malphite's doing bad. Does anyone think otherwise? Does anyone think Malphite's doing good? He's not. The Sunfire nerf like shot him out of a cannon into a bigger Malphite, and then he broke. This metaphor makes sense if you go back and think about it. Anyway, who's getting nerfed? Yuumi. Okay, I need to go look this one up. I meant to do this before this video, but I need to go look it up. Yuumi has a 49% win rate. In the Masters, she's got a 47%. At low rank, she has a 47%. Like, I understand. So here's my issue with Yuumi. I understand that a lot of people ban her, and I understand that a lot of people don't like her, but she doesn't seem particularly overpowered, does she? I think like spiking a bit, like being bad at the low ranks, being bad at the high ranks, and spiking in the mid ranks is probably fine. But on the other hand, Yuumi's tends to be balanced to like 48% win rate because most people don't know how to play Yuumi. I know what you're about to say. What? People don't know how to play Yuumi? Well, no, actually that's true. Most people do not actually know how to play Yuumi. I think in a weird way, that's actually where a lot of Yumi hate comes from, is because you get the useless Yumi support who just sits on you pressing heal every so often. They never shield, they never try to land their Qs, they never hop onto a different target, they don't like refresh their summon Airy, right? They don't ult at a good time. Like, you get so many dud Yumis, and I think it drags the entire win rate of the champion down because, yeah. So then we have champion nerfs with Syndra. I mean, is anyone surprised by this? She's been very overpowered for a while. It took a while for people, like, after the rework. Like, after the rework, I was thinking to myself, like, is she bad? Is she good? Right? But, like, it's been pretty clear she's been very overpowered for a while. She does way too much damage, and once people got good at getting, like, her passive splinters, right? Like, she started scaling really, really good. So, I mean, I can't really disagree with Riot on this one. Yes, it did take people a while. Yes, people thought the rework was bad at first, but I think it's been pretty obvious for like a month and a half now that she's been overpowered. Like, yeah, I want to say, like, there was a full month after the rework where people were like, you know, they could go either way. And, like, you don't want to leave a rework underpowered because, like, then no one will play it, so you don't get data, right? But, like, the thing is, if I scroll all the way back to, like, 12.19, hell, let's go to 12.18, right? So, like, here's when Syndra gets reworked, right? She's #1 pick. Here's 12.20. She is second highest pick. Here's 12.21. She is second highest pick. Here's 12.21. She's highest pick. Like, it's been a while, right? Like, since the rework, I think maybe, like, you should have put, like, 2 patches in. And then when she was still the highest picked mid laner, and she was still doing good despite having the rework, I think you should have, like, maybe toned her down a little bit. That's just my opinion, okay? Like, that's the... You know, I'm always right, but, you know, that's just why I'm right. Because I pay attention to trends, right? And if a champion gets reworked and they sit on the top, they tend to be, you guessed it, overpowered because people don't know how to play them. And don't worry, I'm not biased. We'll talk about Cosante later, okay? So, Mordekaiser, Riot actually confirmed... Can I see it here? Yeah, okay. They said, I hope you all be nerfing just Mordekaiser jungle because he's okay in lane. He says, oh, yep, it's just more jungle. I don't know why more jungle needs to be nerfed, but I just want to clarify that. Like, a lot of you guys, you look at these videos and you're like, I want to see who's buffed and nerfed, and then you looked at it and then you go down in the comments and you're like, and, you know, obviously this is, like, I guess a good time to say in the middle. Is this the middle? I don't know. We'll see. I make these up as I go along, as you can obviously see. You know, a lot of you guys, like, go down in the comments and you go like, how dare they nerf Mord? He's not even good in top lane. And then, like, you know, like, throughout the video, I'll actually go into it because, like, you know, before I make these videos, I spend a good bit of time, like, looking stuff up, just, like, you know, making sure I have the full perspective on everything. And so, like, when I make these videos, I very typically, like, you know, I'm like sitting here like, yes, okay, let me explain this. And then you guys just, like, watch and you just look at the list and you're like, okay, I know everything I need to do. And then you go down in the comments or you go on Reddit and you're like, meh. So Shyvana's being nerfed. I don't know why. I don't think she's good. Shyvana, is she even doing good? Literally, I mean, I guess she's, but that's, like, such a low pick rate. I need a higher sample size. That's still okay, I guess, but, like, why are you doing too good, Shyvana? Is it the buff to... Nope. It just seems that Iceborne Gauntlet into Demonic Embrace. You know what we can do? We can extrapolate more information by going to builds. And, it seems full AP Shyvana is doing good and tank Shyvana is doing good. And, yeah. It seems both builds are doing good, which is giving her a lot of diversity, which is allowing her to do well. I don't know. I don't know why Shyvana's being nerfed. I don't know why she's doing too good. If it was up to me, if I was a writer, I'd maybe let that one play out for a patch. You know, kind of just see, like, is she still gonna do too good? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's not convincing. And I've played a lot of preseason, despite, you know, being on my variety channel, doing other stuff a lot. Because, you know, let's be honest, preseason's not the most exciting this year around, right? So, like, you know me, like, I've been over there, I've been doing stuff, right? And I've been playing a lot of, like, games in the meantime, and I've fought a lot of Shyvanas, and I've never thought to myself, like, damn, this champion's OP. Isn't it okay? Isn't it okay if, like, no, I don't even know the right way to put it. Like, isn't it okay if you have a champion like Shyvana, who's a lower skill champion, at a higher win rate? I don't know. I'm spending too much time on this. Trundle's getting nerfed. They said Trundle's OP. I don't know. He came out to actually call Trundle OP. I think that might just because too many people are trying to build tank items. That's just me. Well, let's look here. So Trundle Jungle's doing okay, but it's a low pick. Trundle Top is doing average. So once again, I disagree with this change. I see no reason. Like, when we look here, Trundle Top has no pick rate, no win rate. Trundle Jungle has a low pick rate, average to good win rate. Like, let's look at low rank. Maybe at low rank he's doing too good. How do I... There we go. Yeah, 54% is probably a bit too good at the low ranks. I don't know. To me, once again, I'd let this play out for a patch. I'd be like, look, maybe Shyvana's just killing tanks with her percent health magic damage, right? Maybe Trundle is just killing tanks with his ultimate, right? Like, let it play out for a patch, right? Like, that's just my opinion. I would just let it play out for one patch. That's just me. I would let it play out for one patch. And, you know, decide after that if it's still too much. Lilia, I don't know what's going on with Lilia. I think once again, this is a tank meta thing. I think she's always been on the stronger side, but I don't like know any changes, right? Like I don't like why now, right? Like after so long, why now are we nerfing Lilia? Like why now are we nerfing her? Once again, I would let that play out for a patch. I would see, like, after everyone stops building tank items and her percent health damage and her true damage, like, maybe after that stuff stops being such a thing because everyone's trying to force tanks and tank items, you know, see for a patch, right? See what happens, right? Dr. Mundo's getting an adjustment. That one's still ongoing, but it does look really good. The main thing of the adjustment seems to be that his W, the worthless heart stop thing, you know, like the heal on his W, what they're gonna do, and this is pretty cool. All the other changes they could do away with, but the one change I'm looking forward to, when you press W for 0.5 seconds, 90% of damage turns into gray health. That's right, 90% of the damage you take right when you press it turns into gray health, meaning that if Mundo uses it right when he gets Syndra ulted or Orianna ulted, or, you know, right into the 3Q passive hit from Aatrox, right by stuff like that, or if he uses it like right when a Mumu does like his ult burst, like, you know, he'll be able to then 90% of it goes to gray health and then he can heal it back, right? I think that's a good change, and I'm really actually looking forward to that, because Mundo having a W that does something is really beneficial. Right now, most of you know, what do you do with Mundo? Right when you start running into a champion, you press W, and then most of the time you forget that you even activated it. And that's it, that's the champion. Kassadin is hopefully being adjusted to be less of a hard counter pick. I think counter picks are really dumb and should not exist, and they should be removed from the game. So, Riot, from me to you, can we just stop Kassadin being this hardcore anti-mage counter pick? It's really bad for the game. It's not interesting. I don't like fighting it. It's really lame, okay? So we have system bumps on Sunfire Cape. That's the one tank item I said they were going to buff. Okay, so Sunfire Cape is being, well, buffed. I mean, we'll see that, right? So Sunfire Cape is being buffed. Ravenous Hydra is being nerfed. Ravenous Hydra was really overpowered. Did anyone think otherwise? Yes, shocking, I know. Sunfire Cape is very underpowered right now, and Ravenous Hydra is very overpowered right now. For the jungle changes, I need to move my camera because there's like no way to actually do this because these changes are just all over the place. So what's going on with the jungle changes? These seem to mostly be nerfs. From 20 true damage to 16 true damage, base damage for the pet. After the first evolution, consume 2 bonus treats on kill of large monsters and get said benefits. The native 20% damage amp no longer works on epic monsters. That means junglers no longer do 20% bonus damage to Baron and to Dragon and to Rift Herald. That's a pretty big nerf as well. 10% of bonus armor and magic resist is converted into true damage for the pet, but to offset that, the bonus health ratio has been slashed from 4% to 3%. That's a 25% reduction. Despite it only looking like 1% to you who are not smart like me, that is a very large nerf. In fact, the monster kill health per level is going up from 3 to 6. Monster kill mana per level is going from 2 to 4, so you'll heal more on the monster, but have a little bit less base damage, which means that, shockingly, we're going back to the every jungler stays at full health the entire game, but the jungle now takes longer to clear. The treat gold is going from 50 to 35. But a little bit of quote here, jungle gold is up a fair bit, pulling a lot of gold out of the treats. Okay, they're pulling a lot of gold out of the treats because the jungle's generating too much gold, and shockingly, it's overpowered. Again, it's always overpowered. The experience multiplier is going up. I'm not gonna go over the full thing, but it's up. Partial compensation of jungle experience nerfs from the start of the season. So if you clear the jungle, you'll get more XP. If you don't clear the jungle, you get less XP. You get it? Okay. Monsters. Gromp auto attack range is going down. Large Razorbeak auto attack range is going down. That will affect a lot of like clear patterns and stuff like that, actually. I'm not going to go into how, but for those of you who know what this is going to do, yeah, I mean, this means the large Razorbeak's going to come into you more and should hopefully get AoE'd more by like a Mumu, maybe. But Gromp will have less auto attack range, making him maybe more kiteable or something. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Leash range centers have been all sent from camp spawn location, giving more space for champions to move and kite. So, oh boy, I'm gonna need to draw this. So my understanding of this change in particular is that as of right now, like if Gromp spawns here, his leash is just sort of like around him, like that. That was a terrible drawing. Let me try that again. So if Gromp spawns here, his leash range is like that, directly around him. But what they're gonna do now is if Gromp spawns here, his leash range will be like that. So it's like a little bit forward. I don't know why that's my takeaway from what they're doing. I don't know. Moss Stomper, the tenacity buff duration goes from 3 seconds to 1.5 seconds. That's bad. The tenacity type is going from an item tenacity to champion tenacity. What does that change? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Well, little do any of you know that tenacity actually scales or doesn't scale additively or multiply with each other based on our handy dandy notepad. What is the source of the tenacity? A type A, a type B, a type C, a type D, or a type E tenacity? Well, obviously, they're changing it so that it will no longer be an item tenacity, that would be a type A tenacity, and changing it to a type C tenacity. That would be a champion. This is actually something that's real and is in the game. What are the implications of it? I don't really know what the implications of this are, and I'm not gonna ask myself to check because I honestly don't really care that much. I'm sure someone's gonna figure out some weird shenanigans with it, but there you go. So that's the patch notes, that's all of this, that's all that's going on. Thank you all for watching, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment on your thoughts on all of this, and as always, I hope As always, I hope all of you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone.